This is the plaintiff, Andrew. He says he used to work for the defendant, and the guy turned out to be a maniac who once bear hugged him and then threw him into a wall. After that, he went directly to the cops and filed an assault report. He now has back problems because of the violent attack. This is America, and he wants the $3,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Knud Jacobson. He says he had to terminate the plaintiff, and when he did, the guy took a company computer when he left. He tried to block him from leaving, and the plaintiff barreled into him. After that, the lunatic claimed he was assaulted. He in no way did anything like that and owes this troublemaker nothing. He's accused of being fighting mad.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Andrew, you've asked to be referred to only by the name Andrew. You are suing, how do I pronounce your first name?
Knud.
Knud Jacobson, your former employer, for $3,000 that you say he owes you in pain and suffering, as well as health insurance and doctor's visits, because according to you, he attacked you when he fired you.
That is correct.
All right, tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I took a job with the defendant on July 1st, selling big equipment.
What's big equipment?
Compaction and baling equipment. So in the back of the stores, box crushers and turn them into a cube, or the trash goes into a compactor and they just crush it. So I began working for the company, and I could tell right away there was going to be a problem. Within the first 2 weeks, Knud started yelling at me. It was just amazing, the slurs coming out, and I happen to be Jewish. And he's coming out with these anti-Semitic slurs and these racial slurs.
Such as?
Someone would pass by wearing a yarmulke, wearing a prayer hat. That Jewish guy, that's the only reason we hired you, to get us into that area, to Lakewood, New Jersey, and Livingston, and get to know those people. Okay. I'm those people.
Okay.
They just became you and I would never use the N-word. I had to teach him the word African American. He didn't even know to use that word.
Okay.
And that was constant.
How long in total did you work for them?
8 months.
8 months. What happened at the 8-month mark?
Well, Knud had raised his hand to me twice while we're driving in the car doing 80 miles an hour.
What do you mean raise his hand to you?
Oh, we're driving along, and he's telling me that I'm ponying up to his partner.
So he's driving and he raises a hand.
Yep.
Can you please show me how it is that this happens? I'm dying to understand.
Oh, it was just amazing.
All right, so you're in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, come on over here.
Absolutely.
All right, so you're the driver. You're going to be him. I'm going to be you. Okay. Do what he was doing to you.
Right like that. I'm looking right at a fist.
Is he actually trying to hit you, or he just has his fist?
Oh, he's got his fist up. He's got his fist up.
Did he hit you?
He did not.
Okay. All right, so he's got his fist up, and that's what you mean by raise his hand to you?
Twice.
Okay.
He threatened me with the fist while we were driving.
And you did not quit either of those times? All right, so then...
but he sent me down to training to corporate headquarters. The minute I arrived at corporate headquarters, I saw the CEO, or the president of the company's parent company. I told him what was going on.
Do you have any proof of that?
I have it all written down. I have emails.
Okay, do you have proof that you complained before you got fired?
Yes.
Okay, let me see the proof. What is the day of the events in question when you were fired?
February 16th
of 2015.
This year, 2015.
Now, let me ask you what happened on that day?
On that day, I had told the corporation that this might happen.
When did all this stuff happen on February 16th? After this email?
Oh, yes. That was in November.
No. This email, I'm sorry, the one in my hand is February 16th at 9:48 a.m.
Oh, okay. I have one before.
What time of the day did it happen on February 16th?
1 o'clock.
All right, tell me what happened at 1 o'clock.
Sure.
So at 9:48 a.m., you send him an email that tells him that the 3 deals that you have pending, you had expected commission on. Right. Apparently they have told you that they closed it, they're taking the commission. You're getting some either lower commission or no commission?
Right, they kept changing the commission rates throughout the whole time. Okay,
so it was a lower commission rate?
A lower commission
and
rate.
You were angry about that.
Yes.
And so you told them either you do things on my terms and here are my terms, or you're gonna have problems closing all those because I've already spoken to the customers. Okay, then what happens at 1 o'clock when you weren't at work, I take it, when you emailed it? Right, so you show up at work at what time?
1 o'clock.
And when you show up at work at 1 o'clock, what happens?
I show up, We start talking. They turn around. They're going to let me go. I grab my bags. I grab my case, the computer. I get up and I start walking towards the stairs.
The computer is an office computer.
It is.
Why are you taking it with
My
you?
personal documents were on there.
Why are your personal documents on an office computer?
That's how I had it.
Why didn't you just sit there a second and mail it all to yourself and then take it off the computer while you're sitting there? Why are you grabbing the computer and leaving with it?
I grabbed the computer and I was walking out.
Why?
I didn't think of just sitting there and taking them. I don't think they would have let me.
Because he thinks you're stealing the computer, right? While you're being fired.
I even tell him, I'm going to give you back the computer.
Oh, I don't think there's a whole lot of trust there at that point. What happens? It gets physical?
So I get up to walk towards the stairs. He jumps up and blocks the stairs. Okay, I walk over to it and I said, I'm leaving. I have my briefcase in one and my books in the other. He bear hugs me and throws me against the wall with all his force. I'm standing there pinned and I could feel the pressure. And all of a sudden he starts moving me to try and throw me down the stairs. Now I'm a disabled veteran. I have metal knees, but I brace myself. And he turns around. He realizes he can't throw me down. He turns around to his partner and says, come over and do your job. And Eric won't come near him. He realizes what's going on. He stays where he is.
Is Eric here? Is there an affidavit from Eric?
This is a witness statement from Eric.
Yeah, a witness statement? Let me see it. Do you have any other witnesses that were there that day?
I have it recorded.
How do
I
you
have the attack recorded.
How do you have the attack recorded? If you're being attacked, how do you have the presence of mind to record it?
It's on for the last hour. When I recorded every session after the 2 attacks in the car, my sales association said record everything.
Okay, let's hear your recording.
Look, I had a contract. I have a contract.
You don't have a contract.
Oh, I do.
You have an employee.
I have 2 lawyers that have seen it. They think it's so funny that you think it's not a contract.
Andy, go and talk to your lawyer.
So of course I will.
A yes or no now.
I won't give you one.
Okay, then you're fired.
Okay.
I won't give you a yes or no on what? On the terms?
On the new, I'm sorry.
On the new contract.
Where are you looking? On new position, they're trying to force me to take.
Got it. Play.
You got it.
Leave the building.
I'm going to leave the building, but everything that's going to happen right now is going to go through the lawyers. Okay, I want you to
Andy,
know that.
don't even talk to him. And we have an official letter saying that you're...
What? Okay. No, I can't do that. And don't even try to stop me.
The computer is staying here.
I will call the police.
The computer is staying
I
here.
will call the police.
Your computer is staying here.
Okay, you touch me in any way. I'm getting at it. Okay, don't stop me. Don't stop me. You will get it from my lawyer, both lawyers. That's it, yeah. We went outside from there.
Who went outside?
I did. I left the building.
Let me ask
Yes, I
you,
did.
what happened?
Yeah, I don't know where to start because
Well, let's start with when you hired him. According to him, you had a habit of making racist, sexist, and we didn't even go into sexist, but I know he said that in the complaint, and anti-Semitic comments to him. Is that true or untrue?
that is not true.
I
no.
wanted to give you a chance to respond to that.
Of course not.
Okay. Were you violent with him?
No,
Did you ever raise your fist to him?
no.
Did you two ever have arguments before the 8-month mark about anything?
Plenty of discussions, yes.
Okay. And what were the arguments about?
His performance.
Because what?
He's supposed to was to be the complete sales cycle. We quickly realized that was not his strength. So that's why he said we tried to change his position, was to open doors. We explained to him what it was, what we were unhappy about. You know, we had all the numbers ready. You know, how many machines he had sold, how many he had not sold, how many trials, how many failed trials, and at the end of it, he said, you know, you need to make up your mind. We're not going to give you a lot of time for discussion. We don't want any drama. This is not a negotiation. This is a choice. He didn't want to do it, and we had to terminate him.
Okay. After you terminate him, what does he say? I heard the tape, but what does he do?
Well, he just stands up and prepares to leave the building.
With the computer?
With the computer. He never said anything about that he had personal documents on there. We couldn't hear that on the tape either.
No, I didn't.
And
What I heard
also-
him say was, you'll get it from my 2 lawyers. My
Yes.
lawyer, my 2 lawyers. And then he keeps
Oh,
walking. And then
absolutely.
what happens?
The office is on the 2nd floor, so there's 12 steps down. I step in front of the steps and block his way. He walks up, and he just walks up, so he's totally touching me. Not with his hands, but with his body. And he starts to push forward. I try to grab, but I can't get a hold of anything, so instead I grab onto him. And when I find my balance again, I let him out because I don't really want to fall down those steps especially not with him on top of me.
Right. So then he leaves the building and you don't chase him.
No, I don't chase him.
Did you ever push him against a wall?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And the witness statement from your partner predictably says that he didn't push you against the wall. So this lawsuit that I have in front, is there another lawsuit pending on the business end of things or no?
Not yet, Your Honor. We have nothing filed.
So this lawsuit is for $3,000, the statutory maximum. And what are you suing for? 5 months of health insurance for February, March, April, May, and June because you feel that you had a contract.
They never paid me for February. March, April, May, and June was part of the contract. Just here, this is from the doctor.
Can I see the contract?
I think I gave it to you, Your Honor.
And what I have says you are an employee at will. Do you have something that says something other than that? Because at will means you can be fired whenever they feel like it.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, can the employer use physical force to stop this guy from walking out with a computer?
I'd say yes, he can, because that's the employer's property.
It's the employer's property, but his point is, hey, I have personal stuff on that computer.
Yes, he can use force because it's the company's computer.
How much force can he use?
None.
None.
It's battery, so that's illegal.
So you have to let him walk out with a computer?
No, you can ask the security to stop him.
No security.
Then file for a case.
File for a case. That means he gets out the door, going inside the courtroom.
What do you have that says that they can't fire you?
I don't have anything.
Okay, then they would never owe you insurance after they fire you.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're going to play another tape?
No, I want to show you a picture of my injuries. It's
let's see.
It's my ribs. It's not a good picture.
Did you go to the hospital right then?
No.
Did you go to
I
the
waited
doctor?
till the 19th. Your Honor, I was in shock.
Show me. These are your pictures of redness on your belly.
Yeah.
And the picture was taken when?
The 19th?
The 19th. That's 3 days later.
Your
right?
Honor.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
When did you first go to the doctor?
The 19th.
The 3 days later.
Yes. Started getting redder and redder, Your Honor.
Got redder and redder, not less red and less red?
No.
What did the doctor say was wrong with you?
It was my bones that were bruised.
Okay. Do you have anything from the doctor?
I do not, Your Honor.
You got to be kidding me. You're suing for an assault. You say that the guy bruised your bones and you got nothing from the doctor?
I brought the doctor bills.
I don't care about the doctor bills. That just shows you went to a doctor.
I did not bring the...
Okay. Do you understand that it looks a little suspicious, Andrew?
Okay.
I mean, you've got a situation where you feel that they're not treating you fairly.
Right.
You go there and you go gangbusters on them about how you're not going to take, a penny less than what you feel you're worth. They fire you. You walk out with their computer, which you have no right to do. You say you're doing it. You tell me you're doing it because you have personal stuff on it, except for that you don't say that once and you're taping. So you're taping. You know you're taping, which is already suspicious. You're suing them for an assault you say happened, but you didn't see a doctor for 3 days. And you don't bring me anything from the doctor saying that there's something wrong with you.
Your Honor, I have evidence on a few of the things you said. They paid me less than what's in that contract. I have it right here.
That's not what you're suing for. You're suing for the assault.
All I'm saying is
do you have any proof of the assault?
Just what you heard.
Okay, then I'm ready to rule. My verdict is for the defendant in this case. Do you have something else you really need to say?
No.
Okay.
Not
Goodbye, folks.
And because the evidence doesn't support the assault, the plaintiff loses the case. Here, step over here and face this way. All right, so how do you feel coming out of this courtroom after hearing this?
I more or less am not on my watch. I stood up for myself. There was evidence more that she wanted, but with everything that happened, I did the best I could to protect myself, and I'll do that every time. Next time, I'll make sure. I recorded all 17 episodes. It wasn't just that one. My association said just record everything, and I did. That's why there was a recording.
All right, okay. All right, well, good luck. You head right down this way, and so the defendant wins this case. Come on in here, step in here. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
Well, I'm obviously happy with the result. Wished we had never had to be here. That's the best I can say.
How did it get to that with him? How did it get to that point where...
We made one big mistake. We should have fired him a lot earlier,
Harvey?
Okay, back to the question we were talking about. I think that the employer is allowed to use reasonable physical force to stop this guy from walking out with his property. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.